Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I will be reading from the Jews No Mail subreddit, so let's jump into it. The neighbor who tried to cancel my wedding got canceled herself. My now wife and I are getting married this weekend. We had our ceremony Thursday evening. Our reception is tonight, and we're having a blast. Our wedding hashtag is trending in our country, and all of our family and friends have been commenting photos and videos. It's been great. My mother-in-law, her mother and I have been planning this for over 2 years. We saved up for 2 years to make this happen. And I even gave up smoking and drinking for almost 3 years to make sure I would be in tip-top shape for my big day. Now, about 4 months ago, I started getting letters from people telling me that they couldn't make it to the wedding. I was bummed, but it happens. You can't expect everyone to be able to make it. I'm talking about aunts, uncles, and even cousins that I haven't spoken to in years, but I accepted it. 2 weeks ago, I received an email from someone that really upset me. This is a person that I consider family. She is my wife's aunt, her dad's sister. I've only met her once before, but she's always been nice to me. I responded to her email with a simple one-word answer. Yes, last week I received a message from a neighbor of ours. His wife and kids love my wife and I. They're amazing people. The husband didn't reply to my initial message, so I sent him another one, and then he called me. He said that his wife and kids were uncoming to the wedding because his mother told them not to go. I asked if everything was okay, and he said no. He explained to me that his mother was telling everyone in the family group chat that she was unhappy with my wife, his family, and she did uncute want any of them to attend the wedding. I was shocked. I talked to him for a few minutes trying to get him to come anyways, but he said that his mom would be very upset and that he did want to disappoint her. I understood and wished them a good night. I was shocked, but I just figured that she was an entitled B-word and I left it alone. Thursday morning comes around and my wife and I are getting ready for our ceremony that evening. Everything is going smoothly. Then, out of nowhere, our neighbor sends us a text saying that he's sorry, but he and his family can't make it to the ceremony because his mom is sick and she needs someone to take care of her. He apologized profusely and we told him that it was okay. At this point, we were already dressed and ready to go, so we decided to walk down to their house. We knocked on the door and nobody answered. We tried calling and texting, but no response. We thought it was weird, but we figured that they probably went to the hospital and we left it alone. We were getting ready to leave again when my mother-in-law calls me and tells me that the neighbor's wife called her crying. She said that her husband left her and their kids and took off with some random woman from the internet. She also told me that she had heard from others that the neighbor had been cheating on her for months. I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to say. I told my mother-in-law to call the police, and I went to get ready for my ceremony. When I arrived at the ceremony site, my wife and I decided to tell everyone what happened. I figured that there was no way that this guy would show up after doing something like that. Well, guess who shows up 2 hours late to the ceremony? The neighbor. He looks at me and apologizes profusely. He says that his mother was faking being sick, and that he wanted to come to the wedding, but he couldn't because she threatened to kick him out of the house. I told him that I knew about the affair and that I knew that he was a liar. He looked devastated. He said that he had no idea that I knew and that he was truly sorry. He wanted to apologize in person. I told him that I didn't want an apology and that I didn't want him there anymore. He left shortly after that. I was actually angry. This was supposed to be my day and he had ruined part of it. I told my wife that I wanted to sue for slander, but she said not to worry about it because things would be fine. I went out and celebrated with everyone. I danced with my wife and forgot about the drama. Today is Friday. The wedding reception is tomorrow, and we're leaving on Sunday to go on our honeymoon. My phone has been blowing up all night. I ignored it because I didn't want to ruin the mood. This morning, however, I finally checked it. I have over 30 missed calls and texts from my neighbor. I ignored him until about 11 a.m. when I finally broke down and picked up the phone. He started apologizing profusely. I cut him off and told him that I don't want an apology. He asked why, and I told him that he already apologized. He said that it wasn't enough and that he needed me to hear it. He began to explain what happened last night, but I interrupted him. I told him that I didn't want to hear it and that I didn't want him or his mother to come to the reception tonight. He begged me to reconsider, but I didn't budge. I told him that I hope he understands and hung up on him. About 30 minutes later, he calls again. He asks me if I'm sure, and I tell him yes. He then asks if he could at least see my wife, and I tell him no. He begs me to reconsider, and I tell him no again. He gets angry and asks why I'm doing this. I tell him that I'm doing this because he left his family to go have an affair. He argues with me, but I hang up on him every time. About 30 minutes ago, I got a call from his wife. She was crying. She asked if everything was okay, and I told her no. I told her that her husband left her for another woman. She was in shock. She said that she had no idea. I told her that I was sorry and that she and her kids should come to the reception. She said that she would think about it. Now, I don't know where you live, but here in the US, you can't just kick someone out of your house and not allow them to come back in. The neighbor's mother kicked him out, then she committed the crime of eviction, which is illegal unless the person has breached their lease or violated some other terms of their tenancy. Also, I doubt that this kind of thing would hold up in court. Kai, maybe the neighbor's mom could sue OP for slander. But I doubt that she would win because she doesn't have OP's contact info. And OP didn't include the slander on social media or something like that. Plus, even if she did win, the most she would be entitled to is nominal damages, which is like a symbolic amount that doesn't cover legal fees. So yeah, I doubt that this kind of thing would hold up in court. Anyways, OP, I hope that you and your wife have a wonderful time on your honeymoon. Congratulations. That is the end of the Just No Mail story. If you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.